Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vincent Ferlano. I am one of the candidates in the program for Masters of Science Physical Education. What attracted you to APU and enroll? So I first got a flyer at CAPERD, which is a national conference that we hold in California for physical education. It actually might not be national, it might be more statewide, so California conference. So I received a nice little flyer from them, and it was very specific to physical education, and it was hard for me to find a master's of science or a master's of education specific to physical education. When I went to Fresno State, I'm a Fresno State student, and I had my credential classes. A lot of that classwork was kind of similar to what I hear about for a master's of education or curriculum design. We went over a lot of those concepts, a lot of those courses, and I didn't want something that was so broad and similar. So I wanted my money to go to something where I felt confident that I could utilize what I learned for my field and also for my passion. I have a passion to be physically active. Physical education is a passion of mine, sport as well. So that is how I got interested in APU, was the flyer and how it was specific to physical education in CAPERD. My current occupation and where? I am in Salinas, California. I got hired during COVID, 2020. I am from Fresno. I grew up, lived in Fresno. Funny thing is when I worked over here, just starting in 2020 during COVID, we had to work from home. So I was working at my parents' house in my bedroom when I still lived there, and I was doing my classes online from my bedroom. I enjoyed it. I thought there was a great amount of value to be taught to high school kids, especially upper class high school kids, as they start becoming adults and learning more about their bodies and learning about their self as far as their own interests in fitness and physical activity. I think it's super necessary that we start dabbling in that as high schoolers. And I think it's a very low point as far as nationally the standard of physical fitness amongst adults. I mean, the CDC, they come up with data and they have a map going over the charts, going over the last few decades and where we're trending, and it's not very good. Hence, that was really kind of my calling. I'm a physical educator and as well as coach football. I'm not coaching this year because I really wanted to dedicate myself to the master's program. I am not the most confident in my writing ability and my ability to have time to do what I need to do with schoolwork. So I'm a little hesitant to coach, which is why I didn't coach, and I'm glad I didn't because I really want to focus on this. I'm also a department head. Most ideal job, NFL head coach. I would love it. Actually, NFL GM. I love NFL. I love the National Football League. If I were to get deep in the nitty gritty, football really changed my life in sixth grade when I first started participating in the sport. I had a rough time moving schools, and football was a sport that always caught my eye. I never played, and I wanted to sign up for it, and I'm so glad I did because it changed my life. So NFL head coach would be number two. Number one would definitely be an NFL GM because I am actually very confident I could do a good job in that if I had the if I had the wherewithal and the connections and as well as the experience. Sport, physical activities, do you enjoy? Football, American. Physical activities, I love working out. I love fitness, full range of fitness. So my main thing is muscular endurance, muscular strength. I also like to work on my flexibility, and since summer's coming around, body composition. So I am getting ready for summer, and I put on about 10 pounds. I'm trying to lose a little weight. Got a little on my gut. Just turned 31, and I'm starting to see my metabolism slow down a little bit. So I just want to be mindful of that, and I practice what I preach. If I'm going to teach that to my kids and show the importance and talk about the importance, then I feel like I should have credibility and do that myself. But my favorite physical activity would have to be I like lifting. I love lifting. I started lifting when I was in middle school, weight room club when I was in 7th grade. I've never stopped, literally never stopped since then. I might take no more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks off of lifting, depending on injury, soreness, something going on in life, some traveling, whatever it might be. But I've been pretty consistent as far as lifting for a long time. I'm becoming a better aerobic individual with running, sprinting, jogging, leaping, skipping. I still practice those skills, and I need to improve upon them because it's been a while since I've been working on plyometrics, being more explosive, quick twitch, working those muscle fibers. So, the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's That's the truth. So I'm sticking with it, and I want to stay consistent with it, because if I stay consistent with it when I'm 80, 70, 80, knock on wood, I could still be doing a lot of what I'm doing now and be comfortable doing it. Free time. I actually like to play video games. I do. So the thing I like about myself is that I not only am very active physically, but I could be a little nerdy too. I like games. Grew up playing a lot of video games like Crash Bandicoot, and PlayStation 1, Sega Genesis. Before school in elementary school, I would actually go to my friend's house, and we'd play Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis, if anyone remembers that, before we walked to campus. It was awesome. And I love Madden. It's a super competitive NFL football game. Like I said, I love football, American football. So Madden is a great game I play. I'm very competitive with it. Might end up being in a competitive environment for tournaments, who knows. But yeah, I love that game. Also like to travel. I like to engage outdoors. I like to camp. I like to try new foods. I love food. I'm a big foodie. And that's it for free time as far as I can think. What areas of sport and exercise psychology interest you? So sport psychology and exercise psychology, they both interest me equally. As a coach, I love to see what an athlete is thinking about, how they're thinking about it, and how I can prepare them or get them in tune to be at their most optimal performance level. I actually took a sports psychology class when I was in college, and it was super fascinating because it was all something that I could use and utilize myself or as a coach. Whenever I was in school, I was very critical of my teachers because, for instance, math, algebra, that calculator, I'm not sure if it's going to be handy nearby or anything, but I don't plan on doing construction. I don't plan on being a mathematician. Sorry. So it was hard for me to really get connected to math because I just didn't find a value for it. Besides the basics, of course, you got to be able to compute. You got to know basic processing and numbers and how they relate to one another. But sports psychology and exercise psychology equally, definitely, I'm curious about. And exercise psychology, because like I said, I'm very active in the gym with my fitness. I'm always trying to improve. I always am improving. There's always something to improve on or maintain. Exercise psychology is definitely fascinating for me. Sports psychology, for when I'm coaching, is definitely interesting. And it's just fascinating to me what athletes go through, like Tom Brady, Conor McGregor. Kobe Bryant is my all-time greatest athlete ever. Just the mindset, the Mamba mentality, what he's all about, what he preaches, what he exemplifies. I love it. I can't get enough. How will you use the content in this class for PE coaching or exercise science? I kind of got into that just now, but I really want to be a better physical educator. I'm an honest person. I try to be as honest as I can be and real. I'm a realist. In Salinas, it's really tough to teach PE. I'm in a district that is really tough. The school I'm at within the district, I just talked to a substitute teacher yesterday. Out of all the schools that he's taught in the district, this one's the toughest to teach with the students. But that's something that I knew going into it. It's something that I embrace because the only way you could experience and enjoy sunny days is by knowing and experiencing those cloudy ones. There's a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of room for improvement in this area. I always connect well with students, high school students. We always joke, have things to talk about, current trends, things going on that. So I easily build connections with them, and it's just getting them on the right pace, the right trail so that they could succeed later in life. And hopefully I'm a catalyst for that. That's what I look at. That's how I view myself as a PE teacher. I cannot be the change. I cannot make the change happen. But if I could steer them, if I could be a catalyst and get them in the right direction, start it off, I think that's an excellent way to view my job and a realistic point of view. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to better myself. I'm also here to better my profession. I'm also here to be a better coach, a more effective coach, a more effective teacher. And I'm here to challenge myself. I know it's very challenging with what I'm going to get in with writing, with this whole non-interpersonal experience being a student, because usually I took my classes on in person. So I'm being very positive and I'm trying to embrace this the best way I can. But it's a challenge that I'm willingly accepting, and I'm looking forward to what I gain from this. So that is a bit about me. Thank you very much.